Okay, so for those wondering, this video is completely impromptu. I'm actually not even recording with a script. I am just kind of going at it. Most of my videos are pretty well planned out and with a script, and I'm juggling like 4 of them right now. So you will see more planned out videos from me in the future, but something happened today that Twitter brought my attention to that I just need to talk about and get off my chest. As far as Harry Potter itself goes, for those wondering, I don't give a fuck about this franchise. I don't like it. I don't think it is the worst thing ever. I think the good elements in it are honestly a fluke on J.K. Rowling's part, though. This series has the epitome of Jewish stereotypes, with goblins who work in a bank with the Star of David on their floor. The fact that the werewolves are supposed to be a metaphor for HIV/AIDS just confuses the fuck out of me, and I think it's really homophobic and weird. And the fact that the only Asian character in these books is named Cho Chang is just embarrassing. And also, even without those elements, the world building of Harry Potter is incredibly messy and confusing. If you like it, that's fine. You're not inherently transphobic for liking Harry Potter. I just wanted to get my thoughts about it and make it clear that I will never make a video about this franchise unless it has to do with this bitch. So, for those who aren't fully aware of this situation, J.K. Rowling has come under fire for transphobic tweets and statements where she tries to define womanhood a very specific way. And, the trans community, trans Harry Potter fans, and LGBT allies are obviously very upset about this decision. I mean, a lot of us grew up with Harry Potter, looked up to the characters and such, and to find out that the creator of your favorite franchise is transphobic when you're trans or you're queer can be a very upsetting thing. I'm not really here to talk about that whole situation with J.K. Rowling's transphobia, because that's just a whole another thing, really. Separate, kind of separate from what I'm talking about today. So, in regards to what happened today. So, earlier today, the New York Times released this advertisement. I think it's a digital ad that shows up on mobile devices and stuff, where it says, Liana is imagining Harry Potter without the creator, referring to J.K. Rowling's transphobia, and TERF and transphobic circles on Twitter are eating that shit up, saying, oh, the New York Times is censoring women's rights and women's history and women's everything, because Twitter is the most toxic cesspool on the internet right now, short of 4chan. I fucking hate Twitter. So I think that this ad is potentially very dangerous, and it makes a very dangerous implication. But here's the thing, I'm a transgender woman. I don't think it's dangerous because it is censoring a transphobe. I think transphobic people deserve to be censored. I think that when you are implicit in or encourage violence or the removal of rights from a group of people, you are absolutely, you deserve to be censored, regardless of what your gender is, regardless of what anything has to do with that situation. So I don't mind J.K. Rowling being silenced. I think it's fine. No, my problem with this situation is the whole separate the art from the artist mentality that the New York Times is going on, which I don't think that separating the art from the artist is inherently bad. I think it can only happen under 2 very specific situations, and to use this situation, I will use the Beatles just as an example. So just to use as an example, John Lennon beat his wife, not Yoko. He had a wife before Yoko named Cynthia Lennon. He beat her and neglected the child they had together, Julian Lennon. And that's just a fact, that John Lennon was a shitty person who beat his wife. The thing about John Lennon and the Beatles is there's 2 parts to that. So number 1, there's no Beatles song that just straight up endorses wife beating or anything shitty like that. There's no Beatles songs with shitty messages or potentially hurtful things being said in them. There's no Beatles songs like that. And number 2, this is the big one, John Lennon's dead. He can't profit off of the Beatles' music anymore, or even his own record sales. He's dead. So I think those are the 2 biggest things in separating the art from the artist, is that number 1, the artist cannot be able to make money off of it, either from being dead or selling the rights or something like that. And number 2, there can't be any major remnants of that person's bigotry in the work of art that we're talking about. And that's the reason you can't separate the art from the artist with Harry Potter. I mentioned a ton of examples of Harry Potter's bigotry earlier, like Cho Chang, and the Gringotts, and the HIV werewolf shit. And, like, those are very hurtful things that are in Harry Potter that J.K. Rowling wrote. So you can't separate that from her. That wouldn't be as bad if she couldn't make money off of it, but she still owns the rights to Harry Potter. She is still profiting off of that franchise that she created. So when you support Harry Potter officially through watching the movies or reading the books or whatever, you're giving your money to a really shitty person to partake in a product that promotes very harmful stereotypes and harmful thinking. So this idea that the New York Times is promoting that we can reimagine Harry Potter without its creator, it's just a very harmful concept, because at the end of the day, these are just books that promote very harmful things, and by officially supporting any Harry Potter product, you're supporting this really shitty, awful person. So I guess the message of this video is mostly intended at LGBT people who are still consuming Harry Potter in some way. More than it is at TERFs, because at the end of the day, if you're a hateful piece of shit, you've made up your mind. I think we as queer people need to let go of Harry Potter. I don't think there's any reclaiming it. I don't think there's any officially supporting it. If you just can't let Harry Potter go and you need to consume it, I would just say buy it pre-owned. Buy it on eBay. Buy it at a thrift store. Buy it at a used movie store. Something like that. Because when you buy things like this officially, you're just supporting this shitty person and enabling their shitty behavior. And we need to be able to not do that. So, at the end of the day, if you like Harry Potter, that's fine, you're still my friend. But if you officially support any new Harry Potter releases, like the new Hogwarts game or the new specials or anything like that, I might want to keep my distance from you. I don't think that you are doing a good job of supporting trans people. I would say just kind of reevaluate yourself and be able to think, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm enabling this person to do really bad things. So that's why I think this New York Times ad is dangerous. Not because it's censoring J.K. Rowling, but because it's not censoring her. Like, at the end of the day, we should just move on from Harry Potter and make it irrelevant. We shouldn't make this big production out of it because it always comes back to giving her attention. And I just don't think that that's a good idea. I am genuinely sorry for people who were really expecting my next video to be a follow-up to my Smile one. I do have a video on rented falsettos coming out on Monday that you can check out. I know this video is kind of off the cuff, after hours type shit. I just really wanted to get my thoughts out about the situation, hopefully to an audience who will listen and understand. So yeah, just don't support Harry Potter, don't support J.K. Rowling, just ignore it and move on. Because at the end of the day, if you officially support this franchise, then you're actively harming trans people. For those of you who are just finding out about this channel today, hi, my name is Daisy. For the most part, I do critiques and analysis of media like movies and music and video games and TV and all that. I thought that since it's tied into Harry Potter, I could make a video on it really quickly. But this is not my usual type of content. So if you want to see content like that, I would say hit subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.